Well, I'm excited about the next segment, which is what you've been doing. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so the automations I've created this week, they're very much the automations that we can use internally. So they're very specific to the process we have here. But that doesn't mean you can't just copy and use it yourself, because they will quite easily be able to be integrated into many CRM systems that you have. So it's not just for working with sponsors and delivering videos and all the other fun stuff. It's very much a process that you can also apply to your business, right? If you have clients, if you have a CRM where you store all the data, you can use these automations as well. So why don't I just share my screen and show you how they work?
And yeah, I want to preface that this is what we are doing internally for sponsors that are coming into us. And I know that many of you guys maybe don't have sponsors or YouTube channel or anything like that. And we want to kind of share more behind the scenes of what's happening inside of our channel and what we are using automations for, because you might be using automations in a completely different way. So it's better if you get some ideas of what we actually use instead of us trying to make up things and try to figure out what you guys want. Um, so hopefully you guys can get some ideas on how to automate your own work by looking at how we automate our work.
Exactly. So hopefully you can now see my screen. Just
Yes.
close that. This is the kind of inbound or CRM, if you like, that I've set up. I've got a bunch of like the fake data here. So the first kind of thing that I want to show, actually I'm going to walk you through the CRM. So we've got obviously the first name, last name, the email, and then we've got all those different fields like date added, what tool or platform the sponsor wants us to promote, a link to the website, LinkedIn, all the fun stuff, the HQ, country, and the overview as well. So all the stuff that you would obviously keep about your clients, right, or customers. And it might take a little while to just collect all this data, like the link to website, LinkedIn. You have to do research there to actually like go ahead and manually search for different links. So what I've done instead, and the kind of process we go through is we receive a request via an email, and then one of our people who is responsible for this will determine whether it's a valid request or not. And if it is, he will come to a tracker like this, a CRM like this, and it will input the email, right? This is the kind of first step of this. So what I've actually done, I've actually wrote a demo request. So it's a person reaching out from OpenAI wanting us to promote ChatGPT as the product. Obviously, it's a wet dream for any AI creator out there for OpenAI to sponsor them. So yeah, I just wrote the kind of example email, right? John Doe from OpenAI, tool called ChatGPT, feature it in one of the upcoming videos, right? So this is the kind of example email that we
Imagine.
would get. You imagine that, right? So yeah, and normally what would happen is you'd have to, okay, take all this data, copy this across to the CRM, and then go ahead and search the web for websites, because obviously the email doesn't include any of the links to websites, to social media. So you have to go ahead and do all the research yourself. But thankfully, there's this thing called automation, and we can streamline this entire process basically. So all I have to do is, as you can see, this was received from this email address. So if I just literally copy this across and paste it in my CRM,
Mm.
I can, with a click of one button, just pull all the information from the email and the web as well, so that all the fields or most of the fields are populated. But for this, I just need to run the automation because it's not set to
Oh.
run.
Oh, and then you got
Yes.
it all lined up in the back. Oh, look at that.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
that. Yeah,
beauty.
this is the automation that I have. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk through the technical like aspects of it, what it does, but or actually just as an overview, I guess. It will trigger via the webhook. So if I click the button, the webhook will trigger. It will then pull information from the email, get ChatGPT to just pull the information from the email that we want in the JSON format so that it's all nice and formatted. And then it will do all that research, the web scraping to get the data from about the website that they have, as well as their LinkedIn and Twitter account, and it will update the Airtable right at the end. So
Hmm.
if I just run it now, it will now search
I
for
really
or
want to
wait
see.
for the webhook to activate, and I'm hoping it will work like it did an hour ago when I was testing it. So let's try. So yeah, as you can see, we are accepted there, and yeah, and there it goes. It pulls all the information. Now it does its scraping bit, and you might have noticed I've included the sleep module in between the run a task and get data items. And the reason is Epify is a little bit slow sometimes, and I like to do this just in case the information does get pulled through in time, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's almost done. So one more bit, and there you go. The Airtable is updated. So if I go back to the CRM, oh, seriously, it didn't pull through all the data this time. But
Ah.
yeah, if we've got the name, the date added, which is today, the tool platform they want us to promote. There should be a website link here as well. It did work when I tried it, so just imagine that it's here. And
Hmm.
then we've also got a link to the LinkedIn, the Twitter of OpenAI. And also, yeah, there was something wrong with the website one. Yeah, so it should have pulled through the link to the website as well as the overview from the OpenAI website. For some reason, it didn't work this time, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna look into it. But it did work before. This was the first time it didn't work. So yeah, this is basically the kind of first step of the inbound that we have. We've got requests coming in, then we update the CRM just to track this in the future, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
And
it.
this
That
one
was it.
works basically just from the email alone and having a slug at the end, basically being a custom email. So, like, if it's a gmail.com, it wouldn't work, right?
No, the way it works is it takes. So, for example, ChatGPT, right? This is the tool they want us to promote. It will take this as a keyword and then we'll search Google for the website, for LinkedIn, and for Twitter.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's how it does
So
it.
basically, through the email, it finds the keyword it needs.
Yep, yep. And then does
Okay.
the research. And it does it almost successfully, from what
I
I can
mean, that
see.
is
But
very close to doing 80%, right? Like we have most of all the things.
it would be 100% if it worked as it did when I was testing it this morning. But yes, yes, you're right.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, that's
Right.
awesome.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
and then next is
so this is the first kind of step, and then obviously, as we communicate with sponsors, there's a lot of going back and forth. We negotiate the rates. We discuss all the different the video types they want us to deliver. And right at the end of it, we have to compile a document that we call the internal brief that we all then use to, and the users as well, to basically know what content they wants to produce and then have basically all the information summarized in one document, right? And there are also kind of set of questions that we ask sponsors as well, just to get the idea of what they actually want, right?
mhm.
And this is what the second automation takes care of. So I will. Should I show the automation first? Oh, actually, in this CRM, if I scroll all the way to the right, I've actually got
There's another
a button there,
button.
but another button there. Yeah. So once we're happy that we will want to work with them, we agreed everything, all the rates, the deliverables, the deadline as well. There is a button there to just, if I click on it, it will create a brief for me. But it will also, on top of that, will also create, an entry in Notion. I know we are moving away from Notion, but it's still
Yeah.
it's still something I've included in the automation. So I set up this test database there to just basically show you. what this automation can do. And again, it's like an optional step, right? So you don't need to have Notion at the end. You can just have the Airtable or Google Docs or whatever, right? But yeah, it's just to show you what you can do basically. So if I find this automation,
And by the way, this is
this one,
something that all of the things that is happening right now is something that Sergi, our sponsorship manager, is doing on a daily basis. And the task that basically we figured out is like, how do we automate Sergi's work? And Sergi, we love Sergi. And he was like, oh, yeah, there's all these ways that we can do it. And Mike just created all of this basically to make Sergi's life a lot easier.
yeah. So I hope he'll enjoy using those. And yeah, so this is the second automation. It will create a brief from information that we have in Airtable as well as the emails. And just to kind of explain how it works, again, it triggers via the webhook. So if I click this button there, the automation will trigger, and then it pulls info from Airtable and then the emails. But since we are going back and forth a lot with the sponsors, we want the whole email trail to be included, right? And this is what this kind of part of the automation takes care of. It will basically aggregate because the way the get emails module works is it will pull through the emails, each of the emails you receive as a separate bundle, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
the next bundle will include all the previous emails as well, right? So actually the very last bundle is the one we need because it will include all the emails from the email trail.
Mm.
And this is why I aggregate all those bundles and then I set the variable to pick out only the last bundle from here.
Mm.
And yeah, this basically makes sure that we've got all the emails that we need there. And then there are
That's
those
great.
three ChatGPT modules there, and basically those will take care of the separate kind of section in the brief document. I'm going to show you how a brief document looks like. It will make more sense in a moment, but basically we extract all the details from the emails that we need, like the deadline, the tool name, or all the platform they want us to promote and stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's also a section where we include the emails, the emails we receive from the clients, from sponsors, right? So this is the module that does that. And there's also the questions that I mentioned, the set of 9 or 8 questions that we ask them. And this is the ChatGPT module that basically answers all those questions and then pulls all that information through to Google Docs and then updates the record to include a link to brief. And then
Wow.
that's the Notion bit as
Can
well.
I see how it looks like?
Uh, the one the brief in
Mm-hmm.
Docs, right? Yeah. So it's in HTML. So
Look at that.
look at that, right?
Yeah. That's
So
that was how I was thinking it to be best as well. Because it's a lot more structured like that.
yeah, I didn't want to open it because I know it can confuse a lot of people right now. But basically, this is the HTML formats that Google Docs will understand, and it will output as a text only. And again, we get all those questions there that we normally ask sponsors, and then the answers to them obviously pulled through the Q&A ChatGPT module. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and for anybody, if you're watching now and you look at the prompt, you have can you open the prompt again?
uh, inside ChatGPT.
The Google Docs one, the one we just had open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember that you have to make sure to format it correctly, okay? Just kidding. ChatGPT is gonna do it for you. You don't have to do any. You probably didn't do any of this, Mike, no?
Almost.
Besides, so
I had to like make sure that it applied brakes correctly because ChatGPT missed out a few. I don't know why, but yeah, that's the only bit.
yeah, yeah, and basically putting all the right pieces in the right place. But yeah, ChatGPT is the game changer here. So you guys don't have to do much. ask ChatGPT, and I literally ask ChatGPT every day, especially for make formulas and things like this. It's exceptional. And it's more about thinking about like what do you want to happen in the end, and then when you ask about that, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, if you want to do that, then you have to do this, and that's kind of the circle that happens. Is you ask ChatGPT, then you go back again and back and forth, and yeah, it's a really fun thing to do because it's almost like collaborating with your friend.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like having an assistant that sometimes listens to you, but
Yeah,
is very
and it's
helpful.
always 90% correct and never 100%
90%?
correct.
Never ever. I always have to check, double check what it outputs. So yeah, uh, I've actually went ahead and asked ChatGPT to write a example email trail for me. So I had about like 8 emails, I think, 8 or 4 emails of how the going back and forth would look like with the actual sponsor, where we agree what product, what kind of video they want us to do and stuff. So I've got this all in my Gmail. So and I believe it is this one, this email here that I've got it from. So uh, example client, we've got the example AI tool there they want us to promote. We've got all the information that we need. So all that's left to do is scroll all the way to the right and click the create brief button. But before I do that, I'm just going to activate the automation. And again, just going to go ahead and click the create brief button. So if I jump back to Mike, it'll now obviously trigger the automation. And
Oh,
yeah,
it's
it
running fast.
might take a few seconds to do all those bits. Cool. So it's done. And if I jump back to CRM, we now have the link to the brief document there. So if I click on it
Mm.
now, there you go. Brief got created
It
just like
literally
that.
looks exactly
But
the same. That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. And then yeah, as you can see, it didn't pull through all the information because actually I didn't include that in the email. So what I set it to do, if that's the case, if it can't find the information, well, actually I told it to write TBC for that, so that we can
Mm.
just go ahead and update it later. But for the ones that obviously what was able to find, for example, the format. So they want us to do full video and the TikTok video, right? So it was able to pick up that information and just store it there. And also the emails. Uh, those
That's
are the emails
awesome.
that we get from them and with the dates. Just ignore that it's the same date. I send them all on the same day. So it will actually
Mm.
pull through in the chronological order. So you'll have all those emails there. And also the questions and as you can see, yeah, some of them are TBC, but for some of them, it was actually able to just pull out the answers from the email trail. I didn't specifically ask the questions in the email trail. It was able to just analyze the whole trail and pull out the answers. So yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to see a comparison of this one versus the one that Sergi actually made. I guess
Mhm.
it literally looks almost exactly the same, which is so awesome. And yeah, for
And yeah, also the last step was to create the page in the Notion database. So there it is. Example
yeah.
AI tool, and then it has the brief part here as well.
Oh my goodness. For Sergi, basically he has to do all this. And we were in a meeting right before this, and he's like, there are so many small things that we have to do. And sometimes I get a little bit confused, like, did I remember to do this one and this one and this one? Because as you guys see, he has to communicate with the sponsors. He has to communicate with us, the team, the editor, the virtual assistant, and he has to create the brief, the payments, and everything like that. And then he has to put it into the content system, which is right here, the test system. So yeah, this is just incredible. Like that, you just push the button, and it to me, I don't know if this is kind of just interesting in and of itself, but just reading the entire email thread is something that I didn't really think about before. but it's such an undervalued thing that nobody's using, I think. Like
Mm.
everybody's thinking about the first email or how to reply to one email, but to actually get an email thread that's like 27 messages long, that sometimes happen with Sergi, that's just incredibly, and there's so much more that I get ideas from here that can happen that are super high value. So yeah, that's really cool.
So yeah, this is what it looks like. And again, all those steps can be customized exactly to what we need, right? So if you don't want to use Notion, you don't have to, right? You can just have the Airtable and use the built-in system there.
Yeah. And
Uh,
for
s-
the connections here, HubSpot.com, Salesforce, Monday.com, ClickUp. This works for any of those. So I know many people have many different needs. So just want to mention that.
yeah, so and this is pretty much it for this automation.